Thanks for joining me if you're tuning in. I'm out here on the Gettysburg battlefield in the most famous small town in America. Out for a little walk, and I hope the video's not too dark. Thanks for tuning in. Back in the 80s, I was attending the School of the Art Institute of Chicago, and there's several of my friends probably, hopefully watching, that also went to the Art Institute. But my summer job during my 4 years at the Art Institute were working for the Parks Department back in LaSalle County, Illinois. LaSalle County is the largest county in Illinois, and LaSalle County has more state parks than any county in the state of Illinois. And so that was one of my occupational options for those summers while I was attending the School of the Art Institute of Chicago. So about my third year in, I was faced with not really a dilemma, but a fork in my chosen path. I had focused on becoming an artist, probably was going to do fantasy book covers, Dungeons and Dragons sort of thing. Frank Frazetta was a huge influence on me. But those summers working at the Park Service, taught me that I could really turn my love, it showed me that I could turn my love for the outdoors into a career. And I have pursued that career, and I involved myself in the green industry and pursued an outdoor career for 3 decades. On and off. After college, I took about 5 years. I traveled, camped, hiked every national park in America, went to 2 continents, saw beautiful things that maybe people have never seen for a long, hundreds of years. But this is one of my favorite places, is here on the Harmon farm across the street from my house, from my apartment. And it's really nice to be able to, it's one of the reasons I moved to Gettysburg, was because I can walk out my door and I'm on a national battlefield, which is essentially a national park. And I'm right across the street from my house, and here's my view. I mean, it's very nice here. It's a Park Service road. Got almost a half moon, some nice tall pines. I'm coming up on the pond. Just out for a walk. I haven't been out for a walk or a hike in several weeks. This past month multiple sclerosis has essentially kicked my ass for the last month. Have a heron flying over the pond right now. The sky is lavender and dark blue. The property that I'm on, there were thousands of soldiers fighting here on January 1st, 1863. There were North Carolinians, Tennesseans engaging the Iron Brigade from Michigan. Now, this pond was not here during the battle. This pond and this paved path were installed, I believe, in the late 40s after World War II, and this became a country club and golf course that President Eisenhower used to golf here. It is a beautiful place to be. I consider myself lucky to have this place to get some exercise and walk whenever I want. Town is about a mile through the woods. I'm in dire need of some exercise, and if you're someone that has some natural beauty nearby that you take advantage of, that you're grateful for, don't ever change, don't ever take it for granted. Get out when you can, and enjoy it to the fullest. I'm absolutely dying to get out in the mountains. The most ancient mountains in the world are 10 miles from my house, and I've simply been too physically exhausted. My joints and my cartilage in pain, poor Daryl, boo-hoo, to get much of anything done in the past month, and it really sucks. As my sister once said, you're somebody who loves the outdoors, you must be going absolutely crazy being stuck in your house. And there's a reason I chose a career in the green industry in the first place. I'm very happy outdoors. I don't have to tell most of you this. Natural beauty is the best remedy for anything that might ail your spirit or your soul. So I implore you, get out and enjoy it as I'm doing. It's getting dark. It's not too bad out. What I mean is, it's not too cold out. I think it's 32 degrees outside. I used to love the heat. I used to love working in it. I could swing a weed whacker like a ninja all day long in 105 degree weather, and I loved the challenge. With multiple sclerosis, unfortunately, that is no longer the case. The majority of people that I've corresponded with describe multiple sclerosis as making us incredibly sensitive to heat and bright sunlight. So unfortunately, summers no longer agree with me. These winter months have found me much more active than I have been this entire previous 11 and a half months. The cooler weather, I'm now more active. There's a patch of woods where I like to make my coffee and kick it and draw and write. Any number of these trees I like to take a break under, have a cup of hot cocoa. I come across the street here often and with my snowshoes and boil up some milk and have some cocoa or some coffee and just plop down in the snow and enjoy the nature around me. And I hope you do too. And if you don't, I implore you to get out in the winter in the middle of nowhere, and you may just find a peace of mind. But it's a pretty place. I've become well acquainted with. This farm. History is conjecture. From the beginning of the book till the end of the book, history is conjecture, plain and simple. Unless you were there with a time machine, anything that you can promote or convey is conjecture. In any event, in future videos, I hope to share some more history. A lot happened here. One of the things I like about the East Coast of the United States is you can go into a graveyard and see tombstones from the 1630s. The lives and the history here is so much older, so much more ancient. So many stories to discover about the people who lived here and how they lived their lives. Paints a lot of picture for a person's imagination. In any event, I'm going to say good evening. It's getting too dark for video. And if you tuned in for this bit, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for keeping me company. I don't make these videos because I'm lonely and don't have anyone to talk to. I see people every other day. I live in an apartment complex out here on the battlefield. I've got good friends, and I'm grateful and fortunate that two of my good friends visit me and have coffee consistently. But I make these videos because with modern technology, it's so nice to be able to share with people, hey, this is where I'm at, this is what I'm seeing, this is what I'm doing, and I hope you enjoy it. And please, by all means, do the same thing. Share your photos. Express your world that you live in on social networks, rather than regurgitating a million times what a million people have also regurgitated. Share the personal, share the individual experiences that you're having in your world. I'd like to see where you live. I'd like to see where you, the ground you tread. I'd like to see where you go. I'd like to hear your thoughts. What do you like to do and where do you like to do it? Please share, as I'm doing. And if you've watched my stupid video this long, thanks for tuning in. It's coffee time. For the 72nd time today, it's coffee time. And have a good evening, each and every one of you, wherever you may roam. Hope to hear from you soon. Please comment, please share. Share your lives. What makes you tick? What makes you think? Share the beauty that you see in the world, because I'd certainly like to see it. In any event, I hope your evening finds you cozy, surrounded by those who love you the most. Have a good night.